Hello everybody and welcome to this Tuesday episode of Blunders and Bothwellians, the Wounded Witch edition. This is the Tuesday party, episode 45. And this is going to be a cool, casual RP session because we've all had very long weeks and we're all a little tired, but everyone is happy to be in character, and so they're going to have a lovely chat and a sort of getting to know you session, as you will. They're currently on board an airship. Their friend Paltalemon the Angel has just left them, and they have a few days' journey ahead of them through the skies before they get to the capital of Trevice, a place called Rog. They're going to dock on the outskirts of Rog and see what the angels have planned for them next. However, in the meantime, we will jump back because there are some great gifs and memes being shared on the channel. Here we go back. Hello, guys.
Yeah.
Hello.
I love that. I literally switched over and I was like, wow, there's some great gifs on here. And there's a panda on a rocking horse that says positive mental attitude. I enjoy this. I'm enjoying this more than I should. This is great. So yeah, you guys are currently on board the airship of the ship that is looking after you while your own ship is being forged and made. And you're on your lovely journey across to Rog. So, the capital of Trevice, for anyone who forget. So, you guys are on board. And Paltalemon has just left you. Orissa has rejoined you with her... Oh yes, people will not know this. Orissa has been given her present from Paltalemon the Angel. We will say nothing about it until she uses it, probably in another episode. But it is called Orissa's Electric Boogaloo. I am not sorry. I will not live to regret this. I am determined I will not live to regret this. Yeah?
Do not be sorry.
Okay. I refuse to be sorry. I kill your favourite NPCs all the time. I won't be sorry about this. This is actually fun for you guys.
Killing our NPCs is fun.
Says the
In a sad way.
Says the
Yeah.
So it's currently probably mid-morning on this ship. Your journey through the forest of Eba stretched your mentality a little bit. You weren't sure when it was day and when it was night, but it's fairly early, probably about 10 in the morning, and you're up in the sky with the clouds. It's fairly sunny and warm, a little bit windy on deck. There is food before... I literally said there is food, and then Varric posted, obligatory food question, did we have breakfast yet? I'm going to say no, but there's plenty of food on the ship that you can be brought on deck if you want to have a look at the view, or would you rather all go down to the kitchens?
Food.
I'm going to say food is brought to you on deck then.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are on deck. You have been brought food and rations and non-alcoholic beverages for now. If anyone desperately wants alcohol, you may request it. You brought some...
Ragnar is requesting wine.
Ragnar has brought wine. Put that in my notes.
Ragnar doesn't bother with a glass.
Wine. Drinks.
Hey, it comes in a glass.
From bottle. You notice that when you have a lot of alcohol in your hands, Narvinye keeps her distance, only because alcohol, flammable, etc., etc. But she is sitting as close to you as she, for want of a better word, dares. So yeah, you guys sat around. All the animals are on board for the Vitheritas, who's probably about to ask. The livestock is loaded and everyone is on there. The crew are happy to set sail. They know where they're going. There's a captain, there's a fair wind, and yeah, you have a day ahead. What would you like to do?
Sorry, I was just going to ask, is Helm still on the ship or has he disappeared?
Helm's disappeared. He went before Paltalemon took you on board.
Fair enough.
But you're still feeling a warmth that hasn't gone away from your holy symbol. It's still there.
Yep.
Oh my god. This is my favourite airship ever. This is the best gift ever.
What is that from?
I don't know, but it's a crossover between Noah and Moses, and I like it.
For those of you who can't see, there's a fabulous gif. What did you type in to find that? There's Noah on the ark looking all happy in the rain with all the animals, and then suddenly they tip over the edge of what looks like a waterfall, and then they crash and they land and they look up and there's Moses having parted the Red Sea. And they were just like bobbing along and then doosh. And I don't know why it's so funny, but it's great.
The bloody carcasses at the bottom make it funny.
We love bloody carcasses. Our characters do not, but we as people do.
I feel like that's already a potential episode title there.
We love bloody carcasses. Quick, make a note.
Background music should be "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor" then.
Ah.
Oh man, that will get copyrighted so fast, and I really wanna.
We'll just do an a cappella so that it won't get copyrighted. It won't get views, but it won't get copyrighted.
Well, the therapist is just going to be sitting and eating quietly and looking very, very reflective right now.
He's had a hard day.
How is Apricity looking?
Ah, interesting you should ask.
Yeah.
Not particularly worse than you were when you left the forest. You've got all along your arms, and if you sort of feel down or have a look in private or in front of everybody, you've got little black spines poking out of your skin. They go along your arms, a little bit of your shoulders, and it goes down from just below your waist down to just below your knees.
I'm probably going to sit there and kind of look at some of the spines, trying not to freak out, just slowly looking around everybody else on the ship. Seeing how everybody else is looking. So, the Theratas. That was, interesting. How are you doing?
I was not expecting the experience. What did that? And he's going to look at everyone and go,
Messy writing can cost you.
Lady Isabella says hi.
Grammarly business.
As in, our Isabella?
Yes. The one and only.
What do you mean?
I met her. She was actually the one that was helping me where I was to find out what was going on back where the rest of you were.
Oh. As in,
She was watching you all.
person? I have to say I'm confused.
I used this cloak. I don't really understand how it works, but it can take me to a completely different place. So I used it to get the shard away from basically those rather pissed off elves that were trying to kill us over it.
Oh,
And-
you went to an astral plane. Well, it's a good thing you didn't stay there very long.
Well, you say that, but it's meant that... And he's going to pull the shard out. This talk to me.
What?
Oh, it's sentient. How interesting.
It is indeed the weapon that
I do kind of want to
Split.
eat it now.
a goddess... No, you're not touching it.
Ooey.
If it goes into your mouth, I will remove it from your stomach.
Oh, Veritas.
That'd be an interesting experiment.
So manly.
I wonder what else you could put from there. Souls?
He's
Some
gonna
of the weapons I've eaten? Body
tuck it
parts?
away. In the astral plane, it was able to talk to me, and it showed me what happened at the battle it got used at. And I think I now know what was meant by this woman that was being held prisoner. It's why I asked Pantaleon about it.
Oh. And it was a woman?
It was Urfel, or part of her, I think. I'm not sure how they did it, but they, I think, split her in two, and the angels took one part and they made the other vanish if forgotten.
So, from your conversation with this shard, are we on the right mission? Are we really doing the good that we think we are?
From what I saw, yes. The angels were fighting a horde of demons that were literally spewing out of the grounds and ripping people to pieces. And Urfel was at the very center of it all.
And did you see how the weapon works? Is it something that we're going to have to detonate? I'm nervous of things that we have to detonate.
As far as I could see, it was it didn't explode from what I could tell. It only really affected Urfel. If anything, the angels seemed far dangerous.
Okay. So we should continue. We've got nothing to worry about.
The only thing I know for sure is that Urfel was leading that host of creatures that destroyed most of Trevice. And the angels split her apart, and they banished half of her and took the other half somewhere else. And I think that's what was meant by the woman that was being held prisoner by Pantaleon.
Bring these parts. We're bringing her back together just to split her apart.
I don't think we're doing anything at all to bring her back together again. I'm actually somewhat worried as to if she's already been split, why we need this weapon.
I feel like
They
this
didn't leave
information
the
is...
magical ancestors of her running free, did they not?
They turned her into this grey smoke thing and said that she would be forgotten, that no one would worship her.
Oh, that isn't quite true.
The therapist's
Followers don't
face is-
disappear that easily.
The
I
therapist's
still have
face
some
is
after
gonna
all,
go
and it's been
very,
millennia.
Probably.
Are you saying that she could still have followers there doing her bidding?
Oh, I'm mostly assured that she might. Some of them may even be the ones who have been attacking us. Or following us. I do wonder if they're meddling in dark rituals. That would explain why they need this weapon again. She could be reborn.
Let's hope they never find out where she is.
Well, that depends to the angels. If they can keep her hidden.
So, what's our next plan? Does anybody know anything about spiky things?
Can you repeat that, sorry?
I said, so what's our next plan?
Okay, thanks.
Does anybody know about these spiky things? She kind of flicks at one of the spines on her body.
Ugh.
The therapist will come over and have a look.
Felicity winces away, like trying not to freak the fuck out at the minute, and really shameful.
That looks very much like a curse.
I hate to do this, but Hannah, could you help? Maybe?
Okay, DM, this is you. What do I do?
Okay.
Can I help her?
You can try. From what you can tell just from looking at her, and I won't make you roll for it because you're very old, you'd know. You can't tell exactly what it is, but it is some sort of curse that, given what you understood at the time, probably came from the swan's touch back in the lake. As you peer at her very closely, you see the little black spines that are sticking out from her body. What you could do is you could slow their progress, because as you peer at it with all your sort of universal knowledge, you can see them growing tiny millimeters, not even millimeters per day, but you could peer at it and see, essentially you could zoom in very, very much, and you could see that they are growing ever so slowly. You get the impression that if they keep growing, within about a week, they would be the length of your hand. So,
Okay, let's just Apricity get her sound back.
okay. Sorry, I wasn't on the chat page for a second, then I heard frantic typing. I love it. Hannibal can see it slowly growing. In a week, they'll be the length of your hand. Context is important here. Oh, God!
Can you hear us?
Yay! My sound came up. Why did it do that?
Okay, so Apricity, Hannibal
Yeah.
will look very closely at your arms,
Uh-huh.
to the point where it will make you uncomfortable.
Ugh.
Yes, and she will go closer and closer, and she will not look frowned upon, but she will grimace a little,
Okay.
which is never good news.
As long as she doesn't lick me, I'm happy.
No, she will not lick it. She will place a hand over your arm and brush over the little spikes, and then look up at you. Well, I have good news and bad news. Which do you prefer to hear first?
Hit me with the bad news.
They are growing. They will not remain in this size. In about a week or so, they should probably be the length of my hand.
That's quite big. Compared to a Bristy's hand, I'm guessing, so that's going to be even scarier.
About twice the size of a gnome hand, Apricity.
A Bristy will look horrified. Please tell me the good news is really good.
Well, I can't permanently get rid of them. This
Still
curse
sounds
is
like bad
very
news.
Pecky. But if someone would let me finish, I can slow them down considerably until we can find a permanent solution.
Vithartus will raise an eyebrow and go, I could possibly try for a permanent solution now.
Oh, please. I don't like the idea of things growing out of me. I don't know what they are.
Well, you can try. If it doesn't work, I shall slow it down.
Are you sure it's a curse?
Oh, yes.
I love the chat in the background. Arissa starts knitting. Barak is eating more food, and Ragnar is reaching for another bottle.
He's being sympathetic to your plight, clearly.
So Vithartus will get down on one knee and put his hand over the spines, and then he's going to cast Remove Curse.
Oh, cool!
Does that work?
Well, up to the DM if it's strong enough.
I like that. Does it work? We don't know.
We find out after this commercial break.
After the commercial break. Okay.
Bang!
I feel like we need
Hi, I'm Barry
now.
Scott. Bang! And the curse is gone.
I encourage
Beautiful.
more advert breaks like this.
I love it.
Okay. Level 3. Let me think. Let me just
Does he
read
get-
what I
does
wrote
it
for the
get rid of them?
swans. Thank you.
For a little bit, maybe.
Okay.
But
Are
not
you
for
casting
months.
at level 3 with Theritas?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Bristy's gonna close her eyes and just squeeze everything, hoping it's gonna work.
Theritas, could you give me a Constitution save?
Ooh.
Was that me doing it?
Yes.
Constitution save,
Ooh.
please.
Oh no, he's gonna be covered in spines.
And
Oh,
then
no.
I will have to slow them
Oh
down.
god, what if it's contagious?
Contagious born rabies.
In that case, Varric would already look a bit more like demonic.
Here you go.
They've got
Yeah, there was
cooties.
that bird a few
Gnome
years
cooties!
ago.
So that, and it was Constitution save.
Mhm.
Well, to there, Constitution is 8. So that's a not natural 20.
Awesome.
Nice!
Okay. Theritas. You managed to feel the magic work. It flows through you, Apricity, and you hadn't noticed before, but now that he's cast the spell, you suddenly feel less clammy. You hadn't noticed before, it just, you'd been coming out of the water, you were wet, and you hadn't noticed, but you had this odd... Now that it's gone, you notice that you had a sort of, a weird, sort of sickly feeling. It's gone. Most of the spines disappear as well. You only have a few dotted about on your legs and arms. There's probably about 30 in total, but they're very tiny, probably about 2 millimeters long, and they're dotted about here and there, so they're not that noticeable anymore. The Theritas, having successfully removed the curse from Apricity, you now find that up both of your arms there are quite a few spikes. Not as many as there were on the gnome. There's probably about 50 in total spread across both of your forearms. However, they are twice as long.
Oh no.
I did say it was impossible to remove it.
Oh, Vitaritas. Oh, thank you. Does it hurt?
Sorry, Varric has posted in chat. Ew, the demon dude now looks worse. He's wearing armor, you can't tell. The only reason you can tell the Theritas is there's a couple going down onto your hands, and you feel them grow, like you feel them prickle all the way through your skin.
So, you were successful, but now I believe I will have to slow down your process.
As long as it's slower overall, we can then find a long-term cure.
As I had mentioned, yes. Now I have 2 of you to heal.
I'll point out I can do this daily.
Yes, and that means I will have to do it as well.
I'm just gonna stand in front of Hannibal and just kind of hold my arms out, just looking so confused and sickened by this weird shit growing on me. Oh,
Pish posh. At least they're not man-eating snakes inside your body. I've had that before, and it's very uncomfortable.
Mouth slowly opens.
Annabelle will first turn to Apricity, and with her hands glowing blue, she will softly pass her hands over every little spore she can see. You should feel a slightly tingy. It's not really burning, but more of a... like you're very, very close to fire. It doesn't exactly hurt. It's uncomfortable, but that's all. She will do it all over your body, by the way, not just the places she can see.
Ooh! Not there.
Well, do you want them to grow out of your eyes?
Oh god, she's cooking me!
Does gnome smell delicious? That's an out-of-character question, just to
So
clarify.
Varric, probably.
This is a Varric in-character question as well.
Hannibal, I am assuming your flames are not actually going to burn her a great deal.
No, it's just the sensation of burning more than actual burning.
That's fine. The spikes dotted about you, Apricity, they sizzle and shrink. And what you now have is black dots where they used to be. So essentially it's like a very big blackhead. About 30 dotted across your arms and legs. So again, like if someone looked at you, they probably wouldn't notice. It could from a distance look as if you've got quite a few freckles, that kind of thing, or you're very grubby. One of the two.
Nice. She's gonna kind of roll up her sleeves and like have a quick inspection of things and poke at them a bit. Still very, very confused.
If they start growing again, you should probably look for me.
You never seem to be that.
This direction. Not ignoring whatever Apricity says.
Of course.
And lift her hands and just... So, will you let me do the same, Mr. Prickly?
When she says that, his entire skin is just going to wrapped in thorns.
Yes.
And he's just going to glower and then pull them back into his skin.
I don't know why you did that. You just proved my point. Now, a yes or no? I believe I need your permission since I've met your god now.
Do what you must.
She will do exactly the same thing she did to Apricity. She might feel you along the way, by the way.
The Theritas, same thing as you. You feel it rather than see it. There's probably a couple that you can probably make out between the gaps of your armor on your hands and wrists, kind of thing. They flame up and like sort of turn to ash and disappear. You now have big black dots across your skin where they were. And they tingle.
He'll study what's left of it, poke it a bit, and he'll give Hannibal a glance and go, "Thank you for your help."
Hannibal will just look at him and look at the others. Is he okay? Did someone hit him on the head? He's talking at everyone at large at the table.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
So Averti just thanked her, and she's just gonna look a little, disturbed, and look at everyone and just ask, "Did someone hit him on the head? He doesn't seem okay to me."
As he sits down, he'll just make a comment of, I believe in the last couple of days, many people have attempted to hit me in the head.
Well, they may
True
have
story.
succeeded.
Um,
You should probably ask your god for directions for the cure. He knows this plane better than I.
How do we know that there even is a cure? Ragnar says as he leans more on the table, like using the bottle to prop him up a little bit. He looks very disheveled. He's not wearing his armor, his cloak, or his
I'd say
helmet.
clothes, then. He's not wearing his armor or his clothes.
He's wearing some fine his fine clothes, but he's not put them on very well, frankly. His shirt is more buttoned down than it should be. Yeah, he's showing quite a lot of his beautiful half-elven cleavage.
Gracious.
And his hair is a bit of a mess, frankly.
I put in my notes, Ragnar is drinking and being a hot mess.
Yeah.
The venue
Emphasis on the hot.
gives
Arisa,
thumbs up.
this is a little out of character, but have you seen the whole news about the guy who lost his leg and asked for it to be kept frozen so he could cook it and taste what human meat tasted like?
I think
I would totally do that.
Yeah, you should
I
probably.
feel like we've had a conversation about this before.
I feel like it is the kind of thing we'd have a.
There is a little sense of deja vu.
I was going to say, I feel real deja vu. Is that because it's real, or is that because it's just something we would talk about?
I think we speak a lot about this kind of stuff, sadly.
I love this movie.
Why is that sadly?
I love it. It's great.
We are being repetitive. We should not be repetitive. There are a lot of disturbing things we could cackle.
For context, for people who cannot see what we've been typing, Timo and I have been writing about cannibalism and what human tastes like.
In quite a lot of detail. And whether they would be okay with it tasting
In
like certain things or not.
Too much detail.
You too, we do not plan on actually doing these things.
Do we?
It's already been done. I don't need to do this.
That was suddenly dark. For people that are listening, didn't see you then share a thing about cannibalism. You were just like, I've done it before, let us speak of it no more.
No, it's not me who did it.
I know, but that's what it sounded like if you were just listening to the recording of this.
Fair.
Oh shit.
What to check first.
I love the cheerful music that just happened.
Sorry.
Cannibalism! Do, 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 do.
Sorry about that.
Speaking
Oh
of
shit.
yeah, speaking of cannibals, though, I do have to put this one in.
Actual cannibal!
And if you want to see more actual cannibals, have a look at the Bothwell special that we did.
Oh, good!
Your cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
That was so good.
Oh man, that was hilarious. There was so much alcohol.
Yeah, I definitely do remember the end after drinking half bottle of gin.
Again, definitely.
Probably.
Everyone remembers that. Leave you one. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, basically. It was fucking excellent.
Ragnar, my darling,
Yes.
you feel yourself warm and content and happy. Like, you're a little chilly, the wind was hitting you, you hadn't quite put your clothes on properly, but now you feel very warm and satisfied as you sit sipping your wine with Narvinje peering at you from a distance.
Ragnar will lean more back in his chair and just start to just listen to everyone again.
After the spike reducing, spike spreading debacle, Apristi's just gonna put a hand on Verti's arm and kind of pat him and look up at him. Very sorry. Thanks for that. Hey, Ragnar, is there anything left in that bottle?
Ragnar looks to just generally whoever would be serving the drinks is just like, another bottle, as he puts the empty bottle down.
Another bottle is hastily brought to you, and a procession of people from the kitchen bring plates of snacks, entrees, and one massive plate for Varric.
Good.
They've given you enough to sort of tide you over so everyone else can have a chance to get at the rest of the food. A procession of bottles is brought out as well and sort of laid near to Ragnar. I love that. Just another!
Ragnar will pour a glass of wine for Apricity and just be like, Lady Apricity, and very kindly will like hand it over to her and then start drinking from that bottle.
I shall nod and chin him and neck the entire glass.
At that point, I think Varric would feel like he can't stay behind, so he'd also request some like wine.
In a massive
Except
glass, as the meme was
Except he
suggesting.
still doesn't handle his alcohol well.
Ah, yes. Do me a constitution save then, Varric.
Yes, as expected.
Just because it's hilarious, Timo, add to that.
Well,
Is it a check or is it a save?
Check.
That's fine. He doesn't get the bonus.
I don't think it will help much, even if they would have gotten
True.
it.
Was that a nat one?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, man. Alright, Varric within about... What were you drinking the wine as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Hannibal has given Arissa some fake yet real tasting wine. Aww.
Yay!
It tastes like alcohol.
Have some grape juice. Okay, Varric, after your first glass, you're a little drunk and a little slurry. You can still talk and think and do things, but you can't enunciate your sentences.
Okay.
So we're headed where now? I'm so confused.
Towards adventure.
I think I've had enough of that for a while.
Well,
Ragnar cheers to that.
we'll first stay on the boat then. Besides, it's quite a jump.
Is anyone else tired? I'm really tired.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
has been quite a rough adventure lately.
I mean, there's been a lot of death and things that looked so weird, and why does everything try and kill us?
Oh.
Well, not everything's
Because
trying.
you look tasty.
It's actually flattering.
Those little strange creatures in the other plane weren't so bad, and
That's because you didn't stay there very long.
Strange creatures in the other plane.
yeah, the machine ones where the angels sent us.
Oh, the
Didn't
little
stay there long.
roboty things.
Yes, but then we have the whole ecosystem trying to kill us.
I
What?
believe that was time trying to kill us for a minute.
Time itself was trying to kill you there. Sorry, guys. And to be fair, in Mechanus, you nearly... I think Arissa nearly died because she nearly fell off something. But other than that, it was a fairly smooth sailing.
Oh, yeah.
And then we angered the entire village.
Mm-hmm.
That at least was not Mechanus.
That was Mechanus, right? Like,
No, that was Airship City.
That was, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
after me.
fair.
Ragnar will raise his bottle. And I was a duck.
The grandest
That-
adventure of them all.
Zadik will cheer at the mention of a duck.
How the hells did you wind up a duck?
Oh, that's a great story. Sits down next to Ragnar, looking really intently at him as if she'd forgotten that he was ever a duck.
Marissa starts chanting, "Duck story, duck story, duck story."
Ragnar just kind of sadly sighs. 1 second, I've got a mouthful. I shouldn't speak with my mouth full. Just going to mute myself whilst I crunch on the chocolate in my mouth.
Oh, the suspense.
In the meantime, Varric will pour out like most of his glass of wine, mumbling something along the lines of, "Here's to the ones we lost along the way. May they guide our path and meet us at the end."
Is that loud enough for us to hear?
He'll be mumbling it somewhat to himself, but there's no such thing as discretion with like how drunk he is.
Christy's gonna look at you and just smile.
You'll get a pat on the shoulder from Vitharitus.
To that, Varric will respond something along the line of, "Thanks. I'm glad you guys are here to help me stay nice."
Oh god, Christy gets up and goes and hugs Varric.
At first, Varric will wince a little and then like actually go for the hug and hug her real tight. "I'm glad you didn't die when I dropped you in the lake. I'm sorry."
Ragnar's going to pour another glass for Varric.
I'm also glad that I didn't die. I'm glad that you were there for me when I came back.
Of course I was there. I promised I wouldn't let anything hurt you. Although punching the lake wouldn't have done much.
She's gonna stop hugging him, but kind of like leave a hand on his arm for a minute. So, duck story?
Well, Ragnar leans forward. And he makes eye contact with Hannibal, just because like she's in his line of sight immediately. And he gives a look and he's just like, "The duck story." Now. And he looks around the table.
Please tell me it starts with you wandering up to a lemonade stand. Sorry, I'm shushing. Dated reference. Carry on.
It's the best reference. That reference was my childhood. I hope that makes people feel old, by the way.
Yeah, fuck you, by the way.
So Ragnar looks about and he's just like, "Now, once upon a time, there was this awesome cool knight. This knight, he was known as the Knight Immolator, and he was a knight of the Council of Risha. And he was pretty fucking cool, if you're asking me. And if you ask other people that would know him,
Very
takes a swig from his bottle. He takes another swig of his glass, and he stands up. Now, this Knight Immolator, he had a mission. And that mission, he can't quite recall, so he will tell you what he can remember." He sticks his leg on the table. "I had done many a mission with my mentor, with my friend. And the council came to us and they were like, well, not directly, obviously, but like we had a mission for them." And at this point, he stands on the table, like essentially declaring this to everybody, trying to be as grand and dramatic as possible. "We would fight off hordes of zombies, hordes of creatures that would terrorize those that would be in the land of Risha. We would protect those who could not protect themselves. There were other knights as well, but I didn't hang with them much. We're a small order. Are a small order. And it was a tall order to get us to you because we were just that wanted. Now, where was I? Oh, ducks. I don't remember everything. It's a bit hazy, but I don't remember the details of my last mission. But it was the three of us. Thawar, my mentor, and Keelan, my brother-in-arms. we had to protect people. I don't know from what, I don't know from who, but I know that there was an enemy I faced, and I faced it so that my brother-at-arms didn't have to. Yeah, then I was a duck, I guess. And he sits back down and just slugs the bottle.
Hannibal throws a cookie at Varric's head, which is surprisingly effective.
Chomp.
I will allow it.
I'm not sure what's happened to any of the other knights, but it's, what else can I do? I was meant to get a, what are they called? Not a scholar, not an apprentice, but you know the deal. And I didn't get that chance.
So, night, lovely time, kind of famous and a big deal, and then duck.
Yep, duck. Something bested me, probably. Probably killed me. Well, not killed me, but like...
Turned you into a duck.
Yeah.
How,
A duck.
Duck is tasty.
how,
Says Varric very, very quietly.
Yep.
how long were you a duck for?
I don't really know. Time didn't work. I might have... That could have been 10 years ago, for all I know. It could have been 10,000. I don't really remember.
Whoa, you're old.
I might not be. I
Potentially.
might be your age. You young whippersnapper. And he throws a cookie at Varric.
I'll try to catch the cookie, but fail.
Okay. I'll allow it.
But no, apparently the council didn't give much of a shit that I was there. Didn't even care that I was their knight. They just killed me. And they made me a zombie to try and kill you.
You can remember that, actually, Ragnar. You remember dying, like being hit, everything went black, and then you were standing up again, but you were like a passenger in your own body, unable to control your limbs, and you could hear a voice that was controlling the body, and you could hear it in your head saying, like, prepare to strike them down, like, on my mark, ready, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Ragnar tries not to dwell on that too long, and he's just like, anyway,
Varric will actually pipe up. Don't worry, we will kill them eventually.
no, we won't.
Oh.
As a knight of Risha, I will not kill
But
them.
they killed you.
And I serve them, I think. I don't know anymore. I don't even know if I'm one of their knights.
Well, if they are like me, you're definitely not a knight. And they are like me.
Thanks a lot. That's really hit home. It's not like I trained my whole life for them. I didn't
Yes,
dedicate
look at all
everything
the
I
skills it
was to
gave
them.
you. Now you can use them for yourself.
Vitharus is going to frown and he'll look across at Ragnar and go, did you learn all the skills you learned and fight all those you fought to protect the people of Risha, or just because they said so?
Well, it's complicated. My father was the one who made me train with my mentor. But my mentor was a kind man who fought for those who needed it. He was kind, he was caring, and he was the second of our order, the second knight. He was dubbed the Knight Empathy for that reason exactly, for his kindness that he extended to not just those in Risha, but to others as well. To those who might not seem to need help, but, well, those who would not seem to be allies, but could be allies after some time and some, what's the word? Some tenacity.
It sounds as if there are knights in your order who did have the best interests of Risha at heart, but I can tell you that those leaders did not.
Yes, my blood brother, he told me that before. He said that they didn't care and that we shouldn't care about them. I thought he was wrong. And funnily enough, my brother in arms also thought similar. He didn't approve of the council's decisions. He said that they abandoned people. He said that the poor were nothing to them. Those that could not help them were just tools and nothing more than bait. But I foolishly believed that they could be more and they could be what I had hoped.
No, your brother was very correct in his assumptions.
Yep. Now I'm here. Great.
That all said, you are still a Knight of Risha. Not because of them, because they're not Risha.
Aw, and on that very...
Right.
Sorry, I was just going to say, on
Carol.
that very philosophical note, the time has run out for this part, so we could leave it on Vetheritas saying something very philosophical and come back in 2 minutes.
I like that.
Let me just turn the recording off. We'll be right back after these messages.